Hi, and welcome to Friday How to Play with Salomé. I'm Salomé Martinez. Have you ever dreamed of building your own robot, powering up a factory full of mechanical marvels? Well, now you can. In SPARKS, a dynamic dice drafting game developed by Adrian Adamescu, Burluca Florin, Sheto Svedsen, Christian Utsby, and published by Alliant Games. You and up to 4 other builders will collect colorful dice to assemble robots, upgrade your factory, and race up the scoring tracks. It's not just about luck. You'll need sharp planning, clever upgrades, and maybe a few helpful assistants to outpace your rivals. Do you think you have what it takes to activate powerful card combos and keep your assembly line running like a well-oiled machine? Well, there's only one way to find out. Grab your toolkit and meet me at the table, and I'll teach you how to play SPARKS. All right, builders. It's time to fire up the factory and get SPARKS set up. Start by placing the scoreboard and the junkyard right in the middle of the table. Next, grab those bonus tiles, give them a good shuffle, and place one tile face up on each bonus space on the scoreboard. Sort the upgrade tiles into 8 stacks by type. Then, randomly choose 6 of them and place them in the designated spots in the junkyard. Each stack goes on one space. Tiles in the stack should be identical. The remaining 2 unused stacks go back into the box. Pile up the cogs and the SPARKS and put them next to the board. Shuffle up both robot and assistant decks and place them face down near the board. Now, toss all those dice into the bag. The gold tiles are not needed for your first game. You can reference page 6 of the rule book if you'd like to add them in for future plays. Next, let's organize our tools. Each player will take a player board in the color of their choice along with 4 matching scoring markers. They look like little robots. And place one robot to the left of each scoring track on the scoreboard. Next, each player gets a set of 4 production tiles. In a game with 1 to 3 players, you'll use the side labeled 5. In a 4-player game, you're going to flip it to the side labeled 2. We're setting up for a 3-player game, so we'll be using the side labeled 5. Every player will now take a spark and place it in their storage on their player board. Then, they will place their level marker on the bottom of the factory level track. Now, each player will draw 4 robot cards, and they will choose 3 cards to place in their assembly line. That's these 3 slots below on the player board. Return the remaining card to the bottom of the deck. Each player will draw 6 assistant cards. These cards will be kept in your hand and stay hidden from everyone but you. Now, decide who's most likely to actually be a robot. You know who you are. That player goes first and takes the first player marker. If you're equally human or equally suspicious, pick someone at random. And that's it. You're ready to get sparking. The object of the game is to build helpful robots and to upgrade your factory to earn resources and score points over 4 rounds. Each round, every player takes a turn as the active player. Once everyone's had a turn as active player, the game ends. After that, you'll tally up the points, and the player with the most points wins. Each turn consists of 2 phases: drawing dice phase, taking action phase. The drawing dice phase starts with the junkyard. Think of it like the dice depot. First, sweep away any leftover dice from the previous turn. Then refill it with 7 fresh dice from the bag, left to right. You can either drop them in as is, letting the top face be random, or roll them if you want some extra drama. Your call. If the dice bag runs out, toss all the discarded dice back in, shake, and keep sparking. Next, the active player chooses one of their production tiles and places it above the junkyard. Each tile shows how many dice they'll take and what bonuses they'll get. Then, it's time to collect dice. The active player takes the number of dice shown on their production tile, either from the left or the right side of the junkyard. They must be adjacent, and you can't mix sides. And I cannot take dice from the middle. Once the active player has made their choice, they will place the die near their player board without changing the value of the die. Then, they'll take their bonus effect from the tile. Let's go over each of the production tiles and their special effects. This tile allows you to draw 3 dice from the junkyard, and then draw 2 additional dice from the bag. This one allows you to draw 3 dice with the added benefit that the dice you take on this turn can be taken from anywhere in the junkyard. The 3 dice must still be adjacent. With this tile, you will draw 4 tiles from the junkyard, and once during the turn, you may re-roll any number of your available dice. And this production tile is double-sided. In a 2-3 player game, you'll just take 5 dice from the junkyard. In a 4-player game, you will take 2 dice and you get to collect 1 cog. Once the active player has collected their dice, the other players going in clockwise order each take 1 die from the remaining die from either the left or the right side of the junkyard. In a 2-player game, the non-active player takes 2 dice instead of 1, and both must be from the same side of the junkyard. Place all taken dice next to your player board. Remember, no flipping and no changing. And now, it's action time. Everyone now uses their resources simultaneously to take actions. This is where strategy kicks into gear. Your dice, cogs, and sparks can be spent to do all sorts of actions. One of the main actions you'll do is build a robot. When you do this action, you will place dice onto your robot cards to fill the spaces. Dice must match the color or value shown on the card. If you fill all the spaces on that robot card, boom, it's complete. Move it to the right of your board, discard the dice, and advance on the robot's color scoring track. If you reach the end of a scoring track, any subsequent moves in this color lets you move on any other track instead. Do not count bonus tiles when moving. Instead, skip over them and gain the bonus reward shown. Draw 1 die from the bag. Take 2 cogs from the supply. Advance 1 space on any one scoring track. Take 1 spark from the supply and place it in your storage. Take 1 cog and draw 1 assistant card from the deck into your hand. Take 1 upgrade tile from the junkyard and place it on your player board. Remember, you can never have 2 identical upgrade tiles. Some robots might have power boxes. You can spend a spark to activate these once they're complete. This one lets you take a die of the indicated color from the discard pile, or find it in the bag if needed. Roll it and place it next to your player board. You will get a new robot card at the end of this turn. You can also perform any of these actions that are labeled here on the left side of the player board. This one allows you to sell a die, even one already placed, for 1 cog. With this one, you can spend a cog to change a die's value by 1, up or down, but you can't go past 6 or below 1. With this one, you pay 2 cogs to ignore a color requirement. And finally, this one lets you recruit an assistant card from your hand. Your first recruit costs 1 cog. Each additional assistant you recruit will cost you 1 extra cog than the previously recruited assistant. After you recruit an assistant, keep them face up next to your board. Assistant cards give you awesome effects, either immediate or ongoing. For example, when you recruit Margot, you add a +2 towards the requirement every time you upgrade your factory to the next level, which happens to be the second main action you can do in this phase, upgrading your factory. When you upgrade your factory, place dice in your upgrade section matching the color of the space. You can place up to 3 dice here. If the total value meets or beats the number above your current level, congrats, you level up. Move your marker up the track, grab your reward, either a spark, which you will add to your storage area, or an upgrade tile, which you will place in your player board. Then you will clear out those dice. There are 3 types of upgrade tiles: general upgrades, die upgrades, and slot upgrades. The general upgrade tiles consist of these 3 upgrades. This upgrade allows you at any time to rearrange your dice, moving them between your upgrade space, your storage space, or robot cards in your assembly line. This upgrade permanently reduces the cost of playing assistant cards by 1 cog. This upgrade allows you to sell dice to the supply for 2 cogs instead of 1. These upgrade tiles are placed in the top section of the player board. The die upgrade affects all the dice of your own player color, and there are 2 types of these upgrades. The first is Ignore Color, which allows you to ignore color requirements when using dice of your player color. And the second is Ignore Value, which allows you to ignore the value requirements when using dice of your player color. These upgrades are placed here on the player board. And finally, slot upgrades are placed above one of your card slots in your assembly line. Only 1 upgrade per slot is allowed. These upgrades are activated each time you complete a robot in that slot. These tiles consist of 3 types of upgrades. Bonus points, which allows you to advance 1 additional space on the scoring track that matches the completed robot color on this slot. Bonus cog, allows you to gain a cog when you complete a robot on this slot. And recycle. If you complete a robot in this slot, you may move one of your die used to complete that robot to a vacant space on any other robot card in your assembly line. Once everyone's done building and upgrading, the turn wraps up. Refill your assembly line. Draw 1 more robot card, then you have empty slots. Pick your favorites and send the rest to the bottom of the deck. You can even ditch unfinished robots before drawing new ones. If you have any dice on those cards, you can sell them for cogs. You can also keep 1 die in the storage for the next turn, but only 1 die can be stored. All your extra dice can be sold for more cogs. Because you can store any number of them along with any number of sparks in your storage area. Finally, the role of active player goes to the next player in clockwise order. Once all players have taken a turn being the active player, and the turn comes back to the player with the first player marker, that's the end of the round. All players will return all sparks from used power boxes back to their storage. Oh, I forgot to tell you, sparks are refreshable energy. Recycle and repeat. The first player marker is not passed, meaning the player with the first player marker takes the first turn in the next round and in subsequent rounds. Once every player has placed all 4 of their production tiles, that's it. No more dice, no more bots. It's time to tally up your points and see whose factory truly sparked to life. Let's walk through how scoring works. Each of your robot scoring markers earns you the points shown above its final position on the scoring track. Take your current factory level and multiply it by the number of assistant cards you played. Some assistants also have points printed in their top right corner. Add those in. If you snagged any upgrade tiles that are worth points, count those as well. Got a diverse workforce? Well, I hope so, because you'll earn 3 points for every full set of different colored completed robots. You'll score 1 extra point for every 3 unused cogs, and that's it. Add all those points up, and whoever has the most points wins and becomes the ultimate Spark engineer. But if there's a tie, the tied player with the most remaining cogs wins. If still tied, break the tie in favor of the player with the highest factory level, or if still tied, the most completed robots. If the tie remains, players share the victory. You're both brilliant. And that's how you play Sparks. I'm Salomé Martinez, and I want to thank you for sparking it up and playing with me today. And I hope you get to teach others and spark up some wins at your table. Until our next Friday How to Play, remember to learn, play games, and always have fun. Adios.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out what's happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.